with the deadly 2021 July unrest, the families of some of those who lost lives are calling for the speedy prosecution of the real instigators of these riots. Let's speak now to the representative of some of these families. Mxolisi Myeni is joining us this afternoon to talk about what they have witnessed in court today. Perhaps let's start there, Mr. Myeni. Good afternoon to you. How do families feel when a person like Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla appears in court? Is there a sense of relief, perhaps?
Good evening, Xoli. No, actually, it's much more than that. Although there are concerns as well from families and victims, as what we've been eyeing pertains to justice in the end of all the process.
Who do you blame? Who do you think should be held accountable here? Because Miss Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla is charged with what she allegedly was tweeting at the time. There is a view that what happened in July of 2021 had nothing to do with the arrest of the former President Jacob Zuma. Instead, events occurred which led up to this, and part of what organizations like the Human Rights Commission said was that socio-economic issues that beset the people of South Africa were in large part the reason people started looting and, of course, the deaths that resulted. Do you go along with that? Who for these families should be held accountable?
No, Xoli, we are following up on the court proceedings. And with regards to Ms. Tutu, as you mentioned, it's one element of the unrest. But from the side of the victims and bereaved families, in spite of that, but that it did not give or warrant persons who were coming from their work to be attacked and killed on the streets. So as to who is responsible, we leave that for the subs to make that decision.
Yeah.
But as victims and bereaved families, we are still in trauma of what has transpired in 2021.
Yeah. And what would justice look like for the families?
There's several ways to it, Xoli. One, what families have cried foul on was the showing of pictures of those who killed their families. They were not publicized. And if you look at this particular case of the instigators, we can see them and their faces are shown. So there is that level of concern that are we really equal? And especially in terms of races, I've been following this from the beginning. So that is a very huge concern for the victims and families. Also around the equality of races in the country. Yeah, so that it's not sitting well with families.
When you say the equality of races in South Africa, where does that come from? I'd like for you to just expand a little bit on what you mean by different races clearly are not equal in this country.
All right, thank you, Xoli. It speaks to the Phoenix massacre, right? Those that were behind the attacks on Africans on public roads. Whenever they would go to courts, their faces were never shown, even in press. So that is one example that as races, we are not equal.
Yeah.
And as families, we feel that why, in the case of Phoenix, those who were behind the attacks, their faces were never shown.
Thank you very much for your time, Xoli Myeni. speaks for the families that lost loved ones during the 2021 July unrest.